What's up, Headless Horde? Welcome back to the channel. It's amazing. We are just a few days away from returning registration for San Diego Comic-Con. I feel like we just left. And here we are, just a couple days away from trying to get these tickets for 2026. So in today's video, we're going to go through everything that you need to know. I'll also have a link in the description down below that will take you right to the San Diego Comic-Con website with the article that we'll be going over. And, you know, I used to make these in the past where I used to kind of just spit off a bunch of information. If you want one of those types of videos, just look for last year's or 2023. But this one, we're really going to go through the actual structure of how this is going to work on Saturday. I will be live on Saturday at 11:25 a.m. and I'll be sitting here with you trying to get these tickets. And one thing that is absolutely amazing with my streams is that everyone is helping everybody. So if you're someone who is nervous and you don't have a buying group, and if you don't know what a buying group is, we're going to cover that today. But if you don't have one, come on in. You never know. You may get lucky. People in the chat have bought tickets for me, have bought tickets for other people in the chat. They don't even know. It's an amazing community. So come on by 11:25 a.m. and that is Eastern Standard Time. And that is going to be this coming Saturday, October 4th. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull up the old website here. Now, again, we're going to kind of go through this and we're going to just make sure you understand exactly what you're trying to do. Now, if you are brand new to all of this, this is not the ticket registration for you because this is called returning, which means that you went last year or you at least had one ticket that you purchased from last year. Open registration will be further down the line. And yes, I will also be live on that day. Hopefully I'll have my tickets already, but I'm more than willing to help people out. That's kind of what we do here. All right. So first, let's talk about buying groups. So your buying group, you can purchase for up to 3 people. So for example, when I'm purchasing, I am buying for myself, I am purchasing for my wife, and usually one other person that wants help. Let's say after this, I already get my tickets and my wife got her tickets. Now I have 3 more chances to get tickets during open registration, but I can purchase for anybody else I want. All you need to do is give the person your last name and your member ID. So it's really, really cool. Like I said, you'll see people asking for help in the chat, especially if they're a little walking man, you know, is really, really far away. And yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. So, but that is basically what a buying group is. You try to find at least 2 other people, and it just gives you more of an opportunity to try to score these tickets. And just really quick before we continue, I do want to just say one more time, remember, this is for returning guests. If you did not have tickets last year, then you need to wait to open registration. All right. So again, this is right on the San Diego Comic-Con website, and we're just going to kind of go through this. Again, you can see here eligibility. It takes you right down. You must have purchased a 2025 badge. Each person you purchase for also must be eligible. So if I was going with a friend who did not go last year, I would not be able to get them tickets for this. Now, if you're confused at all and you're not sure, just log into your member ID and you will have a little check mark that says eligibility, Comic-Con 2026 returning registration. And that is located right there on the upper left-hand corner under your name. All right, so right here, what do you actually need? So obviously you need to be able to log into your member ID. You do not log in before you get into the waiting room. You actually will log in once you get through the queue or the line. Obviously, you need a credit card, a debit card. I don't think they accept PayPal, so it does have to be a credit card of some type or debit card. So PayPal, Venmo, all that kind of stuff, I don't believe they take. And if you're purchasing for others, you'll need their member IDs and last name, which I mentioned earlier. And obviously, you need to know what tickets they want, so you need to know the days. All right, so where does this whole thing take place? Well, there's a good chance they will email us a link. If you just click on the member portal, and again, you won't have to log in, but that will take you to it as well. It says here to make sure that you can access your account before the sale. So I would, pause the video, go log in right now, and make sure you know your information. Eligibility, we just went over, so we're going to kind of skip down a little bit. It does say first-time attendees, professionals, guests of professionals, exhibitors, and press are not eligible to participate in returning registration. Registration for these categories will occur at a later date. It says here, if your Comic-Con attendee badge purchase was refunded, or if your badge was confiscated on site, you're not eligible for the sale. Confiscated, well, if you did sell it and they got caught, something like that. And if you bought a 2025 badge and ended up not going and were completely refunded for it, you are not eligible. All right, so how do you want to prepare? Well, the first thing you're going to do is definitely go verify your account. Make sure you know your information. It's been a few months since you probably logged in. Make sure everything's good. Change your password if needed. But do that, do that now. I would not wait. I would do that now. Also, make sure you have your attendee information ready. So again, all you need, member ID, and you need the person's last name and whatever days they are trying to go to. So this is if you are in a buying group, or you're buying for your wife, or you're buying for your brother, or whatever it might be. All right, so here are your payment methods. So like we mentioned, Visa, MasterCard, American Express only, no PayPal, no Venmo, or anything like that. If you are using a debit card, make sure it has a Visa or MasterCard logo. Once you submit the payment, and if you store your own credit card in the system, it does save time. If you are purchasing for people you know and trust, this is probably the best way to go. Now, like I said earlier in the video, sometimes I'll have people in chat who are buying for each other and that kind of stuff. So here's how this all works, so you don't get scammed, because that's the worst thing that could happen. You think you're doing a favor for somebody and then you get screwed. So here's how this works. If you are buying just for yourself and you might try to help other people out, don't store the credit card. So once you get through the entire process of purchasing your tickets, then what you want to do is go right to the member ID, use the card on file or one you're going to use, go ahead and use that, pay for your tickets right away, right after the sale is over. And then what happens is between 24 and 72 hours later, Comic-Con is going to charge your card for all of the tickets on there, unless each individual person goes and does that. The whole process of going to their own member ID and paying for their own tickets. So that way you're not paying for it. So what I've done in the past is, I have a credit card I use for this kind of stuff that I don't typically use for anything else. And it's a card I can easily just cancel or request a new card and have it just shut off automatically after I'm done buying the tickets that I'm purchasing for myself and my friends. So it just kind of protects yourself. And then what will happen is they will go ahead and submit payment. And then it says here, right here in blue, if your payment is declined, you'll receive an email notification with an opportunity to submit a different form of payment. So basically, that is covering you, because if they don't go in within those 72 hours and buy the tickets, it could be canceled. Now, typically, they kind of wait till like January. And it's a little annoying if people that you thought you were helping do go ahead and just don't pay. You will literally get an email almost every single day. And it's very annoying, but it is just one of the problems with this if you're working with people you don't know. Again, it's awesome to help people. I've never heard anything in my chat of anyone, getting screwed or something like that. But obviously, you just got to be careful because we are all dealing with the internet. So that would be the way I would do it: is use a card you don't mind canceling right after your payment, and then let the people try to figure out how they want to do it. Now, again, they may be canceling earlier than January, but I'm pretty sure it's usually January is when people have a chance to actually buy those tickets, and then they're released or whatever it is. Kind of says here a little bit more in the badge buying groups, like we kind of talked about. And, this is one thing you need to be careful with, because this is something newer that people are trying. people are trying to share their actual like link to the or the URL, I should say. And if they catch that your two people are using the exact same URL, yeah, they've been pretty good with removing people from registration, and then you just, basically just get canceled out. And again, only one form of payment can be submitted, but that is the workaround if you are going to, try to help other people out. Hopefully they will just pay for their tickets right away and there's no worries. But again, I always have that one card where I don't mind if I have to cancel and request a new one. So that's sometimes what I'll do if their payments aren't due, if they're not made right away. And yeah, so that's kind of how you do it. They go over technology requirements. So here they have, these are the four they recommend: Firefox, Chrome, Safari, Microsoft Edge. Make sure you have the latest version. Other ones I have used in the past. I've used, DuckDuckGo, Bravo, Opera. So all of those all seem to work just fine. And this will come to one of my biggest tips. And how much of a tip it is these days, I don't know, since this has been going on for a while now. But everyone's pretty much doing it. So the tip is to open up as many of these different browsers as you can, and it gives you more chances. The only thing you can't do is open up new tabs. So for example, you can't open Google and then open up like 20 tabs, because what's happening here is that they're still going to register you on as Google, even if you use like the private browser. What is it called on Google? I'm not even sure. Incognito or whatever they're called. So it's got to be different browsers. It can't be like 20 tabs, 20 tabs, 20 tabs. It's got to be one tab per browser. So these four, and then the other three I mentioned, are the ones I use. So I will run 7, and then I will run 7 more on my phone, and my wife will run 7. So, I mean, again, it just, at this point, you're not really, I don't see it as like cheating or anything, because everyone's doing it. So that is the number one tip. Make sure you have those all downloaded before Saturday. All right, now we're going to go through the actual process here, and there's a few screenshots I like to go over with you guys. So the virtual waiting room, again, it opens up early, 7:30 to 9 a.m. Pacific. So that's what time you want to get in. You got to make sure, and it says it right here at the bottom, you need to make sure you're in that waiting room before 9, because if you arrive after, you're going to be placed at the back of the line, and it is a pretty good chance you won't get anything. But that's basically, how we're getting in here. There's a tons of questions here for the waiting room, which we can kind of go quickly over. If I enter the waiting room when it opens, am I at the front of the line? It's going to say no. We kind of talked a little bit about that. What if we enter the waiting room after 9 a.m.? We just talked about that. What do I do if I get disconnected? I mentioned that earlier. If any, simply return to the member ID portal using the same device. It's got to be the same device. You'll be put back in the same random group that you were assigned. So again, that's a nice little thing that they have there. What does the waiting room look like between 7 a.m. and the badge sale begins? It's just a basic little room, or basic screen, I should say, and it just gives you little updates. And what does the room look like after? It's the same thing, it just changes messages. So I mean, it's just a screen, and then you'll know when it's your turn, because you'll have a little running dude and everything else, and you'll know when you're getting close, and then it'll take you into the next screen where you have to choose. And that's one of the most confusing parts is how you have to add this stuff to your cart. It's a little bit wonky. So here we go. So it says, once you get in, what do we do? All right. So you want to add your badge first. So this is what it looks like. Okay. So you're going to have registrants, and then it's going to be your name. It's already going to have a little dot on there. This will probably be filled in. If it's not, you're going to have to punch it in. It should be, though. Your email, you may have to punch in, but all this should be really in already. And then you're going to go ahead and click on what days you want to go. So we have Thursday, we have Friday, we have Saturday, and Sunday. Well, Headless, where is preview night? Well, isn't that the $1,000,000 question? Because this is the part that always frustrates me the most. And why they do this, I don't know, but this is the way it is. So, what's going to happen is you will only have an option for preview night if you click all four of these. So if you click Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and you leave Sunday off, you will not have an option to click on preview nights. You need to click on all four. And actually, it probably says it right here. If you add all 4 days, you will then be given the option to purchase preview night. So you're going to be adding 2 different things to the cart. So click all 4, hit add cart. If you've never been to preview night before, preview night is about 3 hours of chaos, but you can get a lot done. You really can, and it's to me it's worth the extra, whatever it is, $65 to go. Whatever you can get done Wednesday, it's less things you got to worry about. So once you add the 4 days, you can then see it says preview night will then pop up here. Now we're adding the cart, and then we're going to hit continue. So this is always the page that irritates me. Now, let me talk about one thing really quick. Let's say you get in, and let's say Saturday has already sold out. Still click the other 3, because what happens is you won't have the option to add preview nights. But on open registration, you can come back, add that Saturday. It will know you already bought the other 3, and you will then get the option for preview night during open registration. So if you don't get something during returning, you still have a second chance at open. Then you're going to go ahead and click on other badges. Once you add all your stuff to the cart, so you've gone through, you've selected Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, add. You then selected preview, add. Now you want to register another member. Now, if you are late, let's say it takes you, and if you follow me on the live stream, I'll have all this information in front of me. But let's say it's been 20 minutes and you're just now in. Well, 20 minutes in, there's a possibility something could be sold out. So it is going to be up to you if you're going to go ahead and register the other members of your party. Now, hopefully you're still able to, but you'll know how much time it just took you to do yours. Now you have to go and do that for every single person. So yes, there's only 3 total, but you have to go do it now for the other 2 people. So what you're going to do is go to register another member, and you'll go ahead and do the exact same process. The only thing is you'll have to type in their names, or not their names, but their last name, and also their member ID. And you'll go through the exact same process of adding all of their stuff to the cart. If you're only buying for yourself, hit checkout as fast as you can and get out of there. So again, you can see here, now we're adding another name. So there it is. So now you're entering your friend's information, and then you hit search and whatever else. And the reason why you have search here is because it's going to locate their account, and it'll make sure they tell you what they're actually eligible for. So there you go. And then you add all the same stuff. So everything else is the exact same. Same thing with preview night. And there you go. And then you go ahead and do the last portion of this after you have everything added to your cart, and you'll add that credit card. Again, you can see this one is already saved. You just got to click it. But again, if you're buying for people you don't know, then what I would do is maybe not have that in there, or this will be the card that you would probably want to cancel or put a hold on or something like that. You can talk to your own personal credit card company to see how you want to handle that. Sometimes if you just stop the card or you just put a hold on it, then you should be okay. And then basically you're just going to place the order. So you'll see a whole list of stuff just like this. And again, it looks overwhelming. Don't worry. The most important thing is the attendee, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday. The little X is always odd because it always seems like, wait, did I get the ticket or didn't I not get the ticket? You want to see the X's. So don't let the little red X confuse you. The red X's always make me hesitate for a minute. But the X's are good. So the X's are fine. If you get an error message when you attempt to process your order, check to make sure your daily badge selections are accurate. That's sometimes the number one issue, is that make sure that you have it correct. You will not be able to check out with Wednesday in your cart unless you have purchased all the days. So we talked about that. Now it is possible too, if you go to process the order and it doesn't go through, Sometimes what happened is a ticket sold out before you got to actually press purchase or confirm. So go back in, try, don't stress out, because that's the number one thing is like, oh my gosh, why is this not working? Make sure you look. You got to remove it from the cart first. Remove it from the cart. And I do believe that little red X will remove it from the cart. So that will remove what you don't want. So that's basically what the red X is. All right. And that is basically it, guys. We kind of covered it all. So a lot of information. This video is probably much longer than I ever thought it was going to be, but to make sure you guys understand it. Again, I'll link this down below in the comments and also in the description for you guys. If you have any other questions, make sure you ask me down in the comment section. Again, I'll be live on Saturday, 11:25 a.m. Eastern, and we're going to try to get these tickets together. So it's very stressful, and I will do my best to kind of keep you motivated, kind of keep you sane, and hopefully get you guys some tickets. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching this little tutorial. Don't forget to keep those heads on, and I'll see you guys in the next video.